Okay, in a situation where in a department you have like 7 people, then 3 people have access to that same network and the other 2 don't. You don't need to panic. You can do some basic troubleshooting cases without calling us. If you've done that, you can now call us. And the way you can contact us is, I think everybody knows the support support mail. You can either send us a mail by raising a ticket, or you can call our office. Everybody knows the office line. Okay, so try using a different device or a mobile device. So if your phone can connect to that network and your mobile and your laptop can connect to the laptop, you have already spotted out that, okay, it's not the problem of that network. It's either your device, and it might be the settings. In a case where you have your laptop has access to have Wi-Fi or LAN, that's the cable. Sometimes some people put that Wi-Fi on airplane mode without knowing by default, or you might have used your laptop somewhere else, and the person that set you up on that network had already adjusted some things on the settings. So if you come to the system and you don't have connection, if you've tried these few things, if there's no way through, you can call the IT office. The reason why we brought out all these slides is we're not saying your calls are disturbing. We're just trying to let you like advance your IT skills. It's not necessary you call, like, let me give you an example of things that happen in government offices. In government office, they'll call the IT team that, my mouse is not working, my mouse is not working. You get there, you see that the mouse is not even connected to the system. Then the IT guy will be, let's say the IT office is on the 5th floor. You will have to go to the 1st floor and attend to the woman. And that's that, madam, this is the, so all those little things, that's why we are bringing out all these slides. Okay, let me go to the next slide. So computer issues, that's laptop or desktop. So don't panic, be relaxed. Be sure there is no problem. Be sure there's a problem. Examine the power cord or power pack and make sure they are connected correctly. Confirm the status of your power adapter by checking with other devices. Know a bit about your computer, that is operating system, computer brand, and model, RAM, processor. Now, the reason why this is essential is in a case where your computer or your device experiences blue screen of death, that means it cannot be rectified, nothing can be done. While we are reinstalling, we need to know the previous version of the operating system that was there before, because according to, like, each device has the specification it can work with. If you want to install Windows 11 on a very old laptop, it won't be compatible with it. But because we've wiped out the old system, okay, you want to say something? Okay, I'm using a Mac system. So for those that have, for those of us that use a Mac system, if you want to find out basic information about your system, you go to this Apple logo that is about this Mac. From there, you can go on. So on top, you see overview, display, storage, support, resources. If you click on the overview gives us everything. That means the module of the Mac, yeah, the serial number, the graphics card. So this is what we call specs or specification. If you want to purchase a new laptop, you'll be like, what specifications do you require? This is what we are referring to. Then if we want to see how good the system is, if you're not buying a new one or you're buying a fairly used one, we go to the system reports. This breaks it down for us. Then what we usually check for Mac users, we go to power. If we go to power here, it states the condition of the battery and anything that has to do with the past. Okay. Okay. So this was this is like
For Windows,
Windows is going to be different.
because I know majority of us use Windows.
Yes, sir.
So basically, what you do on the bottom of that's the taskbar, on the bottom of your screen, you will see a folder. The folder icon is yellow like this.
Right.
Click on it. When you right click on it, you will see when you right click on it on the pop-up menu, you will see properties. Click on properties. Once you click on properties, you will see all the specifications you are looking for. The operating system, the RAM, the all the basic information, the the processor, you will see. Then if you want to know the hard disk, the same thing applies. Click on the same folder, then you will see my computer. Then from my computer, you will see the C drive. On the C drive, you will know the size of your hard disk. The folder is usually called easier to find. It's called Explorer.
Explorer.
Yeah, it's called Explorer. So
or you can go to the search bar, just type my computer.
You find my computer. You find
Can I go ahead?
Share this slide.
Okay.
For people online.
Okay.
Presentation. Presentation. Then to share.
Okay.
Still sharing.
Still sharing.
Okay, go back to
Okay, printer issue. This is very common. I've jumped. Okay, this one I've been checking. I've not spoken about this one.
Are you done with this?
Something. Okay, so we've addressed the parts where you can know the specification of your systems. So the next point is looking for clues and writing them down. So if you're working on your system and a strange box pops up without you clicking on any other thing, it's always advisable to have a screenshot. So on Windows, this Control P. So we all know Control P. Then on Mac, it is Shift Command 3. That's on your Mac system. So when you see this, it's always good to if you can't remember the screenshot, you can use your mobile phone, just snap it and jot it down. So when you're explaining to the IT operative, you can tell him that, oh, this is what happened. I was working on this and this popped up and all that. Then launching the task manager. This is essential for, it happens mostly for Windows system. It happens in Mac, but it's rare for Windows system. So maybe you're working on a system, on a different application and it freezes and you're trying to exit, it doesn't want to go. You should just use your Control Alt Delete. That's to enable your task manager. From there, you can end processes. With Mac, yes, for the Windows. Or the screenshot function FN. can use them. Okay, so I was addressing the part where if you want to end a program abruptly and it doesn't want to go, you can address it by enabling your task manager, and that's just Control Alt Delete. From there, you'll be able to end processes. For the Mac system, it's just to look for the Apple logo at the upper left, and you click on force quit, and it kills it immediately. So computer issues, laptop, desktop. So in situations where we recently changed our laptop or the desktop we've been using, system settings, updates, installed application, parts installed, and find out if anyone else has used the computer recently. Although it's not safe to allow anyone to use your computer without your consent. Now, it's never advisable to get a fairly used system because based on what the system was being used for before, there's a situation that occurred. My uncle sent some systems from the US, and the person that was using it wasn't tech savvy. So immediately the person had used the system for like 2 months, but no access to internet. Immediately the person connected to internet and opened the browser, like 70 porn sites. Everything was just loading. So in a situation like that, when we get fairly used systems, it's always advisable to first of all wipe off the OS. If you're not buying from a known vendor, clean off the OS, restore your own. Because if you are plugging in any device there, whatever virus is on that system is already corrupting the external drive you're attaching to it. So the way we can do that is a bit complex though, if you are not computer savvy, because reloading an OS, you have to deal with conditions, settings you have to put in place and all that. So it's always advisable if you can't do that, the first thing is to get an antivirus installed, run a scan before we go on. So through the antivirus will prompt you areas where you have been affected by viruses and areas you need to clean up. Then reboots or restarts can do wonders sometimes. If you are experiencing unusual computer problems or if your system has crashed, a simple reboot may resolve the issue. Go to the Start menu or Apple menu and select Shutdown. Okay, I don't know how we can practicalize this though. But I think, has anybody not encountered this before? If you want to reboot or restart your system, I think we all have an idea. Okay. Sometimes this might even solve the small connectivity issues you're having with your internet. Because once you reboot the system, okay, let me give you an example now. What's the best example? Okay, like 5 minutes ago, everybody was browsing fine and everything. Then all of a sudden, the lights came back. But because that device, the router or the switch wasn't attached to a UPS or an inverter, it went off and it brought back light. Then it happened that the IP phone is working, but there's no internet. Some cases, if we have the switch in our office, we just restart it. Why we do that is when we restart the device, it cleans out all statics that has been stored on that system and starts a new process again. Just power cycling the system cleans off everything and resets it back to normal. Go to the Start menu or Apple, select Shutdown. Didn't work? It's time to try a forced reboot. With, unfortunately, no way to save your work by pressing the keys Control Alt Delete. Mac is Command Control Power simultaneously. So scan for viruses, like I spoke about. Scan for viruses using your antivirus for Windows and upgrade your OS if available for Mac users. Okay, let me talk a little on this. One of my Mac systems, while I was using it, I put it on auto update. So if there's any new updates, so far I'm under any Wi-Fi or internet connection, it updates by itself. But it's never good to put it on auto update because there's sometimes they just release what's the word? They just release a test version of the new software. So the time I did that, I just noticed that within 2 minutes, if there's no power, my battery shuts down. And before that, my system freezes. So while we were that time, Timothy was still around. So while we were diagnosing it, Timothy now noticed that it was the last update I did. And that's I didn't update, say, your update has been set on auto. So any new update, it updates it. So sometimes they release patches just to correct, maybe they're correcting power issues or something. It's always good not to give it time. A perfect example is what happened with QuickBooks. Now, QuickBooks was prompting us before the end of last year that we need to upgrade to 2014. And it gave us a deadline, 2024, and gave us a deadline. So we waited. So when it was now like 3 more days, we ran the update. And immediately, it wasn't bad. The new OS wasn't stable. So we noticed that on their end, because we contacted the customer service, they didn't have any clue. So we noticed that on their end, with time, even up to now, it's still prompting us. It's not yet stable. So we are going to give it time. After a while, so it's also good to get a new update, even with phones too. I think Samsung experienced it. There was one new update they brought and it was making the phone hot and all that. So it's always not advisable to quickly download any new update that is available. Okay, still no resolution. Okay, still no resolution. Dial 111 immediately or email the help desk. Okay, this 111 is our office IP phone line. Everybody knows. Okay. And printer issues. I think we all have experienced this. I don't like going to accounts because that printer, you cannot see the software easily. If you come across it, you don't even know that that's the software for the printer. And without a software, you cannot make the printer compatible with the system. We always need a driver. We call them drivers for printers. Without that drive, you can't. It's a very complicated printer there, so I don't even like going to account. So know your printer, that is wireless printer, network printer, or USB printer. Printer brand and model. With time, the printers that come out these days are strictly wireless, but we might have not been opportune to see the new ones. But the old ones, they have both wired and wireless connectivity. Confirm toner status, confirm network status if using a network printer. Okay, so if you want to join a printer to your system and it's on the network, these are the steps we can take. We just need to, we go to devices and printers. If you don't know how to get there, you can type it on your search bar for Windows. It will bring it out. When you click, if you see the name of the printer, you go to the physical device, look at the name of the printer. If you can't trace it there will be a place underneath. The printer I want is not listed. Click on that. It will prompt you on the next steps. If you've tried all that and it does not work, you need to troubleshoot. So the few things you can do is check if your wireless, if you have activated the wireless device on your own system, either be it your phone, your laptop, or your desktop. If it has been activated and the system, the printer you're trying to connect is on the network, try and get the IP of the printer. If you can't do that, the printer I want is not listed. It will run its search on its own. If it cannot join you to it, that means there's something wrong. either your system is not registered, either your system is not the network that you are on is not the network the printer is on. And check for particles in. Okay, this is printing issues. If you in a case where you print and some letters are showing properly, some are not showing properly, that means the toner is low. So the trick we will do is just to remove the toner, shake it, shake it. I'm sure many people know. Shake it, shake it, shake it, put it back. In Nigeria here, we always have ways. That toner, that ink, in Computer Village, what they do for the ink that they will now brand, they say HP is charcoal. Just blend it, blend it. So while they are filling it, the reason why you have bad ones, when they are filling it, if they don't what they call it, compile it well. If there's a little bit of space, what you are printing out won't come out well. So red, magenta, all those is just tie and dye. Just put inside. All is charcoal. That's just it. Email issues. Yes, if you notice when we installed Microsoft 365 for quite a large number of our staff, we had to go to their systems individually to adjust settings. Daniel will talk more on that. So because we are configuring Outlook, if you don't configure Outlook and I think, yeah, it was only Outlook. If you don't configure the Outlook, you won't be able to, the mails won't be dropping because the outgoing ports and the ingoing ports, they are not aligned with the present one. We're using the old, Daniel, you speak more on this. Let me skip. I've been alerted I have 5 minutes. Okay, still email issues. Sure. Okay.
But I think you need to talk a bit about this. For the email,
This one?
yeah, for
Okay.
email, can you go back? Okay. No, go to forward, sorry.
Another one.
This is actually his last slide for him. For this email, over time, a lot of people ask, how do I configure my email by myself for my device? This is the basic configuration for our email, because our email is domiciled on a dedicated server and we use an IMAP. And for the IMAP, the reason why we use an IMAP is stated there. It's a protocol that stores email on a dedicated cloud server, and in such a way that once it's there, you can access your email at any point in time. There's another one called Post Office POP. Now, the POP, when you enable POP on your device, it stores all your email on that device. So if you lose that device, but for IMAP, it stores, it saves it in cloud. So from anywhere, from any device, you can access your email. So that's why most of the time we always advise when you are picking to call your email, IMAP, not the So I'm trying to be fast because of time. Daniel will be taking the next session. Basic online security tips. He's going to be giving us online security tips.
Hello, good morning. I hope everybody can hear me. So, um, okay. The first thing I want to talk about is the official email. If you want to log into your email via webmail, you go to tfolc.org/webmail. Don't search for webmail on Google and then open any link. Backward tfolc.org slash no, it's backward slash .org. I mean, slash webmail. So don't search on Google for webmail. You won't be able to log into our webmail. You'll be going to another service, which is completely different. So the first thing here is updates. And for updates, I think there are actually two sides to it. Now, whenever there is like a security update, updates usually carry like patches and security fix, things that would make your system work faster. But there are some times that those updates are actually designed to kill your device. For instance, let's say you are using like an iPhone 7 now, and Apple pushes an update. You shouldn't download that update because that update will just make your device very, very slow and it will potentially kill your device. So you have to be very careful to make sure that you don't just download updates like that. Even on our own end, whenever we get like a security patch or a security fix, we have to do like a couple of research to see potential issues that other people that have downloaded these updates they've experienced. So updates is not for every systems, but just know if your system is a good system, if you are using a computer that has a 4 gig RAM or a 2 gig RAM, don't go to Windows 11. You are going to kill that system. Just stay in your Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows 10. Windows 10 is even better. Don't go up and say you want to use the latest tech. You will destroy your computer. So be very careful about updates. And updates are also very important when it comes to like security because every time people are trying to find ways and methods to get into your account. So security fixes are always with updates. Then internet surfing. I think one of the biggest issues that we have with internet surfing generally is ads. So when you are browsing on your phone, it can even be on your laptop, you might just see a pop-up that will just say, oh, click here to win this bag of rice, click here to join this community and you get 1 million naira or one expert or any of these services. Just be very careful because if you click on those ads, there's usually like a ripple effect. It takes you to like 5 different links. Then you get to a final page and you're wondering, okay, this looks fishy, but then you might just close it, but it might have done something in background. So you need to be very careful when you are surfing the internet, especially on your phone. You see some people, they would have like 1,000 apps on their phone. They don't know where it came from. But it's when you click on ads that all of these things happen. So be very careful when you are surfing the internet. I would even advise you to get ad blockers, especially on your computer, and just make sure that you turn it off for services like YouTube because YouTube can ban your account if you use ad blocker. So all of that, yeah, they want to sell their ads. Ahem. So another one is public Wi-Fi. Now, because in this part of the world, free Wi-Fi, free internet, people just connect anyhow. But I wouldn't say you shouldn't necessarily not use public Wi-Fi. It's just that you should avoid using it for sensitive information, like logging into your banking application or our official email. Now, that our official email, please don't use it with public Wi-Fi. I'm begging in the name of God. So try as much as possible to avoid using public Wi-Fi for anything that is sensitive. So you can use it for your WhatsApp or you just want to Google anything. In this part of the world, people don't usually set up honeypots and try to hack it from public Wi-Fi. They're just trying to steal data and your traffic. So if you're not doing anything sensitive, they're just giving you free data. So be very careful about that. Then we have 2FA. 2FA is added security. So if you have like a login procedure, let's say you want to log into like your Facebook account now, your Instagram account, you need to enter your username first and then your password. That is how to log in. But if you enable 2FA, you then have to go to your 2FA application. It can be Google Authenticator or Microsoft, and then go and copy a unique code that will be generated, I think, every 30 seconds. So you can use that code now to log into your device. So if anybody even gets access to your credentials, they won't be able to log in because they don't have access to your 2FA. So 2FAs are very important. And then if you even get 2FA, you should also download the backup code. So every 2FA account has a backup code in case you lose your device, because you might connect your phone or your IG account or your Facebook account to a 2FA application, and then you lose your phone. And if you don't have access to that 2FA, you won't be able to log in. But if you download the backup code, or you can store the backup code somewhere, maybe on your Google Drive, where you know that you can easily access it, or you can even store it on your local computer. So then, regular backups and embracing the cloud. So I think we have every staff that has access to Microsoft 365 has 1 TB of cloud storage. So the best way to go about it is you don't necessarily need to put all your files on the cloud, because you might have movies, you might have audio and all of those things. And I think there are already platforms where you can always get your music, like Apple Music and all. But your documents, which are very important, your sensitive documents, maybe you work in accounts, for instance, and then there's a lot of Excel sheets that you use day to day. So you can always push those ones into the cloud, and you should probably arrange them so that you know the folder that you're going to, so you don't end up just going to your drive and there are thousands and thousands of files, and then you don't know how to manage them properly. So, and then embracing the cloud. If you are using an iOS device, get iCloud. Don't always keep all your things locally. Like I don't know if anyone still uses SD cards here. So SD cards, they break a lot. So try as much as possible to get, or you don't even necessarily need to use OneDrive or iCloud. You can get Mega. There are cheaper ones out there. So just start using the cloud small, so that it can save you from a lot of hardware issues potentially in the future. Um, okay, so protecting your personal information with strong passwords. Now, this is, I people say this a lot, but oh, okay. So if you're online, just kindly indicate that you can see us. You can say check, or you can just raise up your hands or something. So can we confirm that? Is anybody saying that?
Yes, we can hear you and we can still see you.
Okay. So there's something about, because it's not easy to remember a lot of passwords, honestly. So at times you might want to, let me just use the same password or something familiar with all your platforms. And usually that used to cause a problem, because if one person get access to your passwords, your credentials, then they can just use it on all of these other platforms and it could potentially work. So I think one of the best ways of doing this thing is there are services that can manage your passwords for you if you don't remember, or you do like me, you write them down on like your notepad, and then you lock your notepad. You use like a very simple password that only you will know, like your bank pin, your 4 digits pin. Use it to lock that file, and then you just make a list of your passwords, because if somebody has access to one of your passwords, they will just try it everywhere and potentially it will work. And another thing about passwords relating to the organization is, no matter the kind of security protocols that we put in, no matter the kind of security protocols that we have in place, everything still falls back to the users. If your passwords are compromised, if your email accounts are compromised, we will get affected by it. And sometimes, because we have a number of emails, like over 360 something emails, it's not easy for us to manage each and every one of these emails one by one. So we can only write event triggers, things that, okay, if your email is experiencing this issue, inform us. But then there are so many emails, so that might be very, very difficult for us to know. So one of the things that users should do for us to help us improve security on our platforms is whenever you get responses, like you didn't send any email out and suddenly you are getting error, your email was not delivered, you should call the IT department and say, oh, I am getting this issue, or you've not been using your email and then suddenly your mailbox is full. You should wonder why your mailbox is full. So you should always reach out that, oh, I am seeing this, oh, what is happening, and all of that, so that we can help each other make the organization more secure. Okay, let me go to opening of suspicious emails and links. Now, I think in this part of the world, especially in Nigeria, one of the things people do a lot, I don't know of emails, but SMS and phone calls. I'm pretty sure that some of you must have experienced somebody calling you saying that, oh, I'm your branch manager at Access Bank. Please confirm, give us your account number, all those kind of things. So be very, very careful about that, because that happens a lot. And even with SMS now, it's very common, because some of these SMS platforms, they don't do KYC very well for their customers. So they just give the service to everybody since they want to sell. So they just send broadcast SMS. Maybe you went to do your NIN now, and you give them your phone number. They won't protect that data. Nigeria does. They don't even send them. They will not. They will just put it somewhere, and then somebody will go and get all those information, and then they will just send broadcast SMS to everybody that click on this link to verify your BVN, and then you click there, you give them all your information, and then they try to use that information to manipulate you or to scam you, because they can even reach out to you and start giving you like original information about yourself, and you be wonder, these people have to be legit, but they're not actually legit. You're the one that gave them those information that they're using against you. So you need to be very, very careful before you jump into anything. You need to like relax and think about it, that okay, who are these people, why do I need them? And please reach out to your account manager, like your official account manager. If it's anything relating to finance, you need to have your account numbers. I mean, your account manager's phone number. You can call them, because if you try and reach out to the bank's general support, you just be wasting your credits. Those people, they will not answer. They will be playing song. So there's that. And finally, using crack softwares. And I know that things can be very expensive at times and you just want to use it, but it's very, very dangerous. I don't know if you know about ransomwares. Now, a ransomware is a kind of malware that if it gets into your system, it will begin to encrypt your files. And then the kind of encryption that it does is not something that can be decrypted later. It just encrypt your files to the point that you won't be able to access anything on that computer. Then it will give you a pop-up and ask you to send BTC, you send Bitcoin. If you send that Bitcoin, it will ask for another Bitcoin. Until you wipe that system, they will keep doing that to you. So you need to be very careful. I know that you might have done it like in multiple occasions and then you were lucky. Some of them, they don't even like implement ransomwares. They could do keyloggers. Now, a keylogger is an application that it would it will record all your keystrokes. So if you go to www.facebook.com now, all those keystrokes that you enter, when you enter your username and password, it will be saved in a file and it will be sent to somebody. Or they could even access your webcam, looking at you. Anytime you are online, they'll just be looking at your camera. That's why you notice that for most developers, we used to tape our cameras, because those people are very, very wise. So I think that is all from me, and Shekinah will be coming up next to talk about. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Okay, I'm short. No, it's fine. Okay, so I'm here to talk about the available resources and okay. Okay.
Esther, and I think in order for us not to rush the final part of this presentation and to also allow want to propose. That's fine. Because our time is fast spent. Thank you. All right. So once again, let's appreciate Tunji and Daniel and of course the team lead as well. So questions, what are the challenges we have in our various units, regarding your systems, regarding your emails, whatever it is. Any question? All right, please. About what they've presented last week and this week. Oh, please come over. Come over.
Something like IT is very practical. So it's not like presentation without having, if we are having our systems in our hands, like the other session that was, there are certain things you say, click here, click there, and we are looking. Nobody has, I know that some, I don't even have an idea of what he's saying until I see it, because it's a good training. Everyone in this 21st century should be able to handle a computer system. So I propose for a practical session, if time will allow us, so that we'll come with our system. Everybody has a system, a laptop or something, So we have, even if desktop, if we carry come, so that when he's saying some of these mechanical things, you are seeing it on your system, you know where to click. Because most of us, if we leave this door now, all those things he's saying will fly, come out, So if we can propose for such thing, it will help us practically.
Thank you very much. Let's appreciate that advice. That was actually the reason why I asked him to get off the presentation the other time and show us how to do some of these things. And I will advise, since we are having IT again next week, for those of us that have laptops, I will advise that you come into this session with your laptop, because that's a very valid point, whereby let us, begin to, do the practical aspect of the work itself. And since it's only Shekinah we have for next week, we'll have enough time to be able to engage them. Okay? Thank you for that. Yes. Oh, okay. Come over. Okay, don't worry. This one I'm saying come over.
I was talking about rebooting your system. So he said shut down. So I know there are options of just restart. Do you just do that, or you have to shut? Is it compulsory you shut down, or you can just do restart?
Thank you.
Good morning. The question I want to ask, is there any way to block
an intruder, someone from outside, from sending message to your email. Because just of recent, I begin to receive email into my official email from outside. Is there any way to block? Yes.
Daniel, please. No, his case is actually, yeah, explain the genesis.
Okay, so the first thing that usually happens is maybe you get an email saying that, oh, your password is about to expire. You get an email, like they send it to your official email address. I just want to give like a potential example of how they got access to your credentials. Now, when you get an email like that, they will design the page in such a way that it will look similar to Roundcube. Now, Roundcube is the email client that we use to access our emails. And then you click on the link, it will then tell you that you should enter your email and password, like you are logged out. So to open on a new tab, then you do that. So when you do that, you've given them access to your emails. So this our configuration, this is our port, tfrc.org and the 993. It's a standard port. So what they then do is connect it to another system and then begin sending out emails using a bot. So whenever these emails go out, you will not get them on your computer. But if there's a failed email amongst those emails, maybe one of the email addresses they are sending it to is full or does not exist anymore, you will now start getting emails that, oh, the email you tried to send out, even if you're not the one that is trying to send it out, has failed. As you get like thousands and thousands of those emails. There are other ways they could have gotten access to your credentials. So one of the things that you have to do is to make sure that you just don't enter your password anyhow. Sometimes it could be that I've seen situations where people would go and search for webmail online, and then they'll just go to any domain and then they will try and enter their password. Then they will come and say, hey, email is not working, email is down. The email service cannot be down. Like even when we restart our servers, the applications.
You currently receive such unsolicited email. How do you stop it from?
Daniel, sorry. Wait, 1 minute. We actually had issues with his email. No, I know, sir.
Hang on. I want us to be,
no, I'm still going there.
Chill. You are giving history. All right. He's asking specifically, he's been going through the problem.
And that's what
how do I stop it?
Yeah, he can't stop it. No, he can't stop it. Yeah, that's where I'm going. No, he cannot. No, wait, calm down. See, I'm going somewhere. Daniel, wait. He cannot stop it. Why? Because he has made a blunder of his email. His email has been compromised. Now, his email was compromised based on what Daniel just said. He opened the wrong web email to access his email. And because of that, his email was hijacked. And we kept on getting prompts from his particular email that almost shut down our server. So over time, when you are getting issues with constant mails entering your email, quickly inform IT. Do you understand? Quickly inform IT because his email was pushing traffic. And I was asking Daniel what was going on.
You come over.
This is actually. I don't want to like blame him.
I know I'm not blaming him. So that's why.
Sorry, I think we're overflogging issues. The man asked a simple question: how can I fix this? It cannot be fixed. Are we going to remove his email from our entire and then start him up again? That's this. Instead of telling we look. I understand that we want to talk about how he got there so that the rest of us can avoid it. We just tell us the solution so we can move on. You did this 1, 2. Don't do it again. We will remove you from the email system. We will start you off again with a new password so that life can be easy. Simple. Uncle, please. So are you still getting email? You're still getting. Okay, so change your email address. We'll reset his password. We'll change his email address. Maybe you put your second name and before your surname dot, so that all this. Okay, you advise us on what to do. We're talking too much. Honestly, I'm sorry.
All right. Oops, okay.
Okay, so this is a bit peculiar. All right, I think we will take it offline so that we can have time to treat other issues. Don't worry, just hang on. All right, we will sort it out. Okay. One thing we should always know is that no matter the error, it can still be fixed. It can still be fixed. So IT, don't always tell people that nothing can be done. Do you understand? Please. It can take, okay. So, okay, all right, okay, good. So please tell your neighbors, say inform IT. All right. So I think we should just take one more, question, then we'll close the session for this morning. Yes, Chief, come over. Yeah, Chief now. You're looking at who am I calling?
Good morning, everyone. My question goes to Daniel in case of security, online security. Now, in case where your keyboard is hacked, when you are trying to copy something and paste, but you now discover that something else what you paste, maybe it detached from me or harder to it. Now, what can you do in this area?
So, okay, for keyloggers, there's one thing called steganography. That's when like a script is embedded in a file. Let's say you get like an image or something and then you copy it. There's like an embedded application in that. So one of the things you have to do first is to disconnect from the internet because they cannot access you except you are online. And then you have to go to your tax manager to find those processes. Now, if you use a Windows computer, go to tax manager and go and look for startup files. So normally in your startup, you might have some of your applications like Microsoft Word, but then you start seeing some scripts. There'll be some BAT scripts. Now, a BAT script is an application that runs directly with command line. So you don't even need to do much. So go to those BAT scripts and then you can open file location and go and delete those files, or you can just stop it from starting up. Now, if you stop it from starting up, the next time you restart your system, it won't run that script. So that way you are good. Or you can just go and meet an IT professional to look at your applications, all of your scripts. I mean, they might put it in like in the different location. Those guys are very, very good. So it might even like look like Microsoft Word or even copy the image of another reasonable application, but there's always a flaw in their design. So that is the only approach. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. How do you explain that response to the question? Everybody, and I think that's why I'm still going to align with what he said. Because ideally, all the things you are describing, you just be showing us, all right, go to this, click this, click that, and all of that. All that jargon that you just delivered now, I'm sure nobody can really relate. But you're right. That's how IT people communicate. And that's why the only way we can appreciate it is when we turn to practical. All right. I think on that note, we can just put our hands together and appreciate the IT team this morning. One thing that is clear from this episode is that we need to upskill ourselves on IT, basic IT, skills. And we have to create that time. We have to create that time. Next week, definitely, we're going to answer as much questions as possible. And we are also going to be as practical as possible. But aside that, we will need to come up with a program, all right, different IT, appreciation, programs that we need to, organize in the organization, all right, and has people to come, probably block 2 hours for people to really get, those skills. Otherwise, truly, we cannot give what we don't have. And that's the whole essence of this knowledge sharing. Let us, you're working with people that are very, very talented and gifted in their own field of, endeavor, as it were. We must be able to tap into it and be able to, improve our total knowledge base as an organization. So thank you very much, everybody. Online community, I'm believing that probably next week we would be able to achieve what we've been working on for over 5 sessions now, for us to be able to hear them whenever they want to make comments online. Much everybody, and have a fantastic day ahead. God bless. All right. Say good morning to your neighbor.